real quick, share some advice. I mean, you guys have worked together so much, and you have it seems like you have like a dedicated, almost like a family that you
Yeah.
like to work with a lot. What's some advice that you guys should share about maybe that level of trust you build up, um, that you could give to other people about finding people like that you just know that I need so and so, I'm immediately calling Haley. You know what I mean?
I guess I could say
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
quick story that was this shaped my whole worldview. Chuck, was years ago I met Robert Rodriguez, who
Okay.
is my favorite all-time director.
He's where I get my Perico Padillo recipe.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So I met Robert Rodriguez, and I had a talk with him, and I had my daughter with me, and he had his son with him. So we were talking about, fatherhood and having children. And I asked him, I said, how does someone get to be a Robert Rodriguez, or how does someone get to work with Robert Rodriguez? And he said, well, tell me, what do you do? And I was young, I was younger, and I was like, well, I have a camera. And he's, oh, there you go. He said, here's what you do. He said, you take your camera and you find your family, because once you find your family, you will never be able to get rid of them. He said, you won't want to. He said,
Yeah.
but I've been doing this for 22 years, and I'm working with the exact same people that I started out with, because the more you work with them, not only is it just like a familiarity and a comfortability, but there's an efficiency that comes with it, because I can look at Nick, like if Nick and I are Nick has shot basically everything I've ever done. And so we can look at the monitor and realize together, without saying anything, something's wrong. And we do it all the time, where we'll just point at something on the screen. And then without saying it, with just pointing at it, we'll know I'll handle it or he'll handle it. And there's no spoken thought. And we will be able to get so much more accomplished, because I can say things like, okay, I want the hubcap shot from the Pass the Mic video, right? And I could say that to anybody and they'd be like, I don't know what that is. But Nick and I have such a rapport that immediately resonates with him, where he goes, I know exactly what you want. You want a fisheye lens, you want to bounce it off this chrome, da-da-da. And I think that comes with time, at least is what I've noticed. And so the people that I get to work with, when I'm out there working with new people, I sort of do the same thing, where I watch and see what works for them and what they do and how they handle it. And Haley and I always say this: lead with kindness, right? Allow people to ask questions, allow people to, lend ideas and thoughts, and make it the project isn't yours, right? The script may have started with you, or the direction may have started with you, but it's a process and everybody's involved. And so everybody has a voice in it, and everybody has an equal opportunity to rise up to it. And the more that you find people that do that, right, of course you're going to work with them more. And then it becomes this point now where Haley and I now have worked together multiple times, and where we don't have to really talk about things like that anymore. It's like, more like this, or even just like, I'll just give her a look, or she'll give me a look, and I'll know, okay, back off for a minute, or, you know what I mean? So whatever it is. And it's just this, I'm not, I guess, find the people you work the best with, because you're going to fail. Just make sure you can fail fast and regroup quickly with the people that can support you and do what you need to do. Because I'm there for Haley for whatever she needs. She's there to help, me get the best performance we can get, and together it's what you get. Now, it doesn't work, I don't know, but that's sort of, if you ask for my advice, but I don't know. Hopefully that's useful to somebody, but that's what I would say. Find your film family, and just, they'll be around forever.
Yeah. Well, Haley, how about on your end, like finding trusted people like Tony to make you, like, because even, I mean, I can even tell you, showing Dustin, your pictures and stuff, like your social media presence and everything, and he immediately said, "Why isn't this woman like super famous?"
Amen.
He just didn't get it, and I said, I honestly, I have the same question. I don't understand why Haley isn't gigantic, like out there everywhere.
She will be.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, at some point, it's gonna happen. But how do you find people like Tony that help you get there?
First off, thanks. I really appreciate that. Just so me as a person, I have struggled with depression and anxiety and trust abandonment stuff my whole life, right? So when I got into film, my mom looked at me like I was crazy. Because she,
Yeah.
as a parent, she saw movies and she just heard about, anything and everything going wrong, especially being like a younger female at the time when I got involved. And um I was lucky to meet people that guided me in the right direction. And from the rip told me to not be afraid to say no to things. Because you get
Oh,
approached,
right.
especially when you're new and they see what they can get away with because you don't know any better. But it's finding those people that, and it's, you gotta go with your, Tony, you're gonna like this, your guts. Um,
Oh, I love
so,
it.
yeah, you have that internal voice, that tells you like if this person's intentions are good or not. And I met Tony through Joseph Lavender. I did a what was it?
Mm-hmm.
48-hour thing, I think. No.
Girls Against Humanity
Yeah,
for the Buried
yeah, for
Alive
Buried
Cinema
Alive.
Challenge.
And I guess Tony was there and he saw it and asked Joe who I was. And then me and Tony have a mutual friend, Anissa, who's amazing, and she's gonna be up there too. We met at this farm on like the border of Georgia and Alabama at this
Yep.
Yeah.
like birthday bonfire thing for this woman at a location that they had shot at. And yeah, we like all just got along really well. And I think we both knew we wanted to work together. I liked how he operated and the fact that like he got his family involved, and I was like, okay, well that's cool, cuz like I didn't have like a super stable home life. So when I saw, like, I was like, oh, this, like, you have a stable family that's like creating with you, like that's cool. Um
Yeah.
can you adopt me? And so and yeah,
And we
and
did.
so our first project was Playtime's Over. I was like, hey, if I come to you with ideas, like, would you want to shoot a thing? And then like one of the best co-creators I think I've come across is Tony, because then he's so supportive and like just takes your ideas and like makes them better. um
Yeah.
Well, we also got Todd Jacobs involved
Right.
too, and
And
the
he's
three of us
amazing with
really worked
dialogue
those
and stuff
kinks
like
out.
that. And Tony was good at knowing every Easter egg on the planet that you could possibly like fit into this 10-minute thing. But after doing that and realizing that Tony could deal with me getting overwhelmed and like being new and everything like that, and I didn't feel like I had to hide my anxieties and stuff like that. When you find a group of people that understand, like, oh, you need to take 5, or like, and can communicate with you in a way that will give them and you the performance you both want. And like he said, giving everyone that freedom to kind of share their opinion. And like, everyone has their job and everyone knows what department they're in, but we never feel like someone can't be like, hey, well, I noticed this thing, like if we shot it this way or whatever. Because if you're not willing to listen to people, then it's just going to be, it's not going to be a very like complex film in my brain. It's just going to be very linear. Yeah.
Yeah.
One voice.
So I guess, I don't know, to sum it
Well,
up is
yeah.
like, you got to trust your intuition. And once you find people that will, like, for me, actually finish product too, like, there's so many,
Oh,
it's,
right.
and
Yeah.
with the best intentions, they'll have these great ideas, but then all of a sudden it's like when it gets to post, like no one hears from it again or whatever. And
Of
so
course.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's finding people who work efficiently, people that you trust, and people that are willing to like all of us understand what each other needs to work at our 100%, and we're willing to give that space for that. So as long as you're willing to learn your family and realize that circumstances change, so how you have to deal with them might change, I think you just set up for success just by trusting them to trust you, you know.